if they can't determine cause of death because they can't do a proper tox evaluation, the DA is going to have a hell of a time charging anybody.
Well, and one of the problems is, and I've had this in numerous cases.
Just a story we broke yesterday is interesting. It doesn't move the investigation any further, but it's just something interesting that happened in David's world. He is the owner of 2 homes, and both of those homes were transferred to a trust in his mother's name. The date is what's interesting.
The date is critical.
Nancy, you do not dismember a body because the victim overdosed. You just don't. I mean, that's overkill. Something else bad happened in that house, and I've been playing in my mind with what could that bad thing have been? Was there a domestic violence incident and somebody was choking her? Is there evidence on the body? Was she gang raped? Is there semen on the body? Was she offered drugs like fentanyl or something like that or opiates that were prescribed for somebody else? I do not believe somebody just went and murdered her for murder's sake. You do not dismember a body just because they overdosed. You call 911.
D4VD and the Celeste Rivas case. What's true, what's rumor? The shocking discovery of a teenager's body in a Tesla linked to the rising musician D4VD has set off one of the most talked about stories of the year.
To the case, I had a conversation with a private investigator who got his hands on some pretty jarring video of the singer David's Tesla as it's driving away from his mansion, and it ends up in a place where it was abandoned. And guess what? The window was partly down, and so yeah, the person driving was visible. Here's my conversation with Steve Fisher.
Since early September, social media, tabloids, and fan accounts have been flooded with claims, some true, some completely unverified. Here's a breakdown of what's confirmed by police and public records and what's still just talk online.
Take a listen.
How certain are you that this video of the car driving away from David's mansion is the last time it drove and ended up at the spot where it was abandoned, likely with that body inside?
I'm certain. Listen, I can't say 100% because there's...
What police and official reports actually say. In early September 2025, a black Tesla towed to a Hollywood impound lot gave off a strong odor. When workers looked inside, they found the decomposed body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed her identity but has not yet said how she died. The cause and manner of death are still pending, which means the lab is still running tests like toxicology. The car was registered to David Anthony Burke, the 20-year-old singer known as D4VD, pronounced David. Police have said only that they are investigating the case, not that anyone, including D4VD, has been charged with murder. Police also carried out search warrants at a Los Angeles home where the singer had been living.
We don't know the cause of death yet, which is a big thing.
By the way, we don't even
for.
know if it's a homicide.
Right, exactly. Don't know that it's a homicide. But what we do know is that her body was found in the Tesla belonging to singer David. And what we just, story we broke yesterday is interesting. It doesn't move the investigation any further, but it's just something interesting that happened in David's world. He is the owner of 2 homes, and both of those homes were transferred to a trust in his mother's name. The date is what's interesting.
The date is critical.
The date of the transfer, the first transfer was on September 18th, and the second was on September 22nd.
So far, no official statement has accused him of a crime beyond possibly hiding or moving the body.
And what's interesting about the 18th date is that was the same day we broke the story that cops had gone out to that house for a swatting and his mom answered the door.
Right. That part you'd have to assume is just coincidence, right?
Right. But there was a search, search warrant.
But the search on the home where David, the rental home where David was living in LA, that happened on September 17th.
So literally a couple of days after the police execute a search warrant, which, by the way, requires proof of probable cause that a crime was committed inside that house,
right?
Then he transferred title to this trust that is run by his mother.
I will say this, though.
The property transfers in Texas. A few weeks after the discovery, property documents from Texas showed that D4VD transferred ownership of at least one house, possibly two, to his mother. Tabloids like TMZ published copies of those deeds. The timing of the move led many people online to think he was trying to hide his assets. But there's no official proof of that. It's also possible the transfers were made for normal family or estate reasons. No police or court records say these transfers broke any laws or were meant to block an investigation. The only confirmed facts are the dates on the deeds, mid to late September, and the names listed, his mother's or her trust.
Multiple pill bottles of opiates. And, from what I've seen, and it hasn't all made it into mainstream media, there were a lot of people in and out, a core group living there, but a lot of people in and out of Burke's home. There were a lot of pill bottles reportedly in Burke's home. Where I'm going with this is, if we don't get a COD, cause of death, if she's too decomposed to get a good toxicology screen, the argument is going to be, Luke Kenton, she voluntarily, all on her own, just gobbled down a bunch of opiates and she died. That's how she died, everybody. We had nothing to do with it. And then out of fear, we hid her body.
Because police have released so little information, the internet filled the gap with wild theories. Some claim police had found clear evidence of murder. Others said the singer used his car to hurt someone, or that forensic evidence proved his guilt. None of those claims are confirmed. Police statements so far don't mention any weapons, tools, or cause of death. The medical examiner has not ruled the death a homicide. Private investigators hired by neighbors or local residents have also fed stories to tabloids. They've claimed to find objects or evidence inside homes linked to the case.
Tonight, we are learning about brand new surveillance footage that could completely change this case. It captures the Tesla, David's Tesla, being driven for the last time before it was dumped on that Hollywood Hills street, the same street where it sat baking in the sun for weeks, with Celeste's body decomposing inside. And that footage? It did not come from the LAPD. It came from a private investigator who's been quietly working behind the scenes.
Even if someone helped move or hide a body in California, that act alone is a crime, called concealing a human corpse. It's serious, but it's not the same as being charged with murder. If future lab results show that Celeste's death was an accident or self-inflicted, then homicide charges might never come. On the other hand, if evidence proves someone caused her death, charges could be upgraded to manslaughter or murder. Right now, prosecutors are waiting for the medical examiner's full report before making any decision.